Very good evening to everyone. On behalf of TiE Ahmedabad, I extend a very warm welcome to our distinguished speakers for today, Mr. Dukhabandhu Rath, the Managing Director of GVFL, Mr. Anupam Jalote, CEO of iCreate and founder of Optimized Electrotech, Sandeep Shah. The TiE members and associates who have joined from not only Ahmedabad, from other cities of the country too. I welcome you all to this session today. As you are aware, the TiE initially established in Silicon Valley with the aim to foster, mentor, and enable the spirit of entrepreneurship, now has a global footprint of more than 61 offices across 14 countries, making it world's largest not-for-profit organization fostering entrepreneurship. Continuing with this core objective, today's event is one of the most sought after areas of discussion that we have seen, and equally by entrepreneurs and investors, startups. And we are delighted to have the experts from the industry to talk about it. A big thank you to the President, TiE Ahmedabad, Mr. Saurabh Mehta. You just met him, and the board for all the encouragement to the startup ecosystem and consistently organizing such programs. So with these words, I hand over to the moderator of today's session, Bhavin Bhagat, founder of India Biz for Sale and the Honorary Joint Secretary of TiE Ahmedabad. Over to you, Bhavin.
Thank you, Piyali. I think you have already covered what TiE is about. But as an entrepreneur, I joined TiE as an organization at least, I think, 4 years back. And I attended events and I met a few people. But during this period of time, I found some mentors who I go to. I've made some friends and I also got some investment. So I'm pretty thankful, and this is my time to give back. So this is the year I will try and as much as I can to give back to the community. I would, like everyone to go through this hot topic of startup session. This session we have designed to cover 3 different perspectives while raising investments this year. This is generally suited for early startup or early growth stage companies. So today we have a leading VC group amongst us, a leading incubator among us, and an Ahmedabad-based startup who has raised a decent sized investment during pandemic times. I would like to invite our esteemed speakers. The talk today would first we will have our speaker, Mr. Dukhabandhu Rath, who will talk about GVFL and how the ecosystem is changing and how they are contributing to the ecosystem. So we will have key speaker one by one, and then we will have time for question answers as well. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Dukhabandhu Rath, who is the Managing Director at GVFL, which is one of the most established venture funds in India. Mr. Rath has been a career banker with over 36 years of experiences in various capacities, most recently as Chief General Manager of SBI. He will share the investment direction in 2021, especially relevant if you're looking to raise an investment in remainder of 2021. Mr. Rath, it's over to you.
No, thank you, Bhavin. Let me at the outset convey my sincere thanks to Piyali for and also TiE for inviting me to address this session. It's really a great pleasure and privilege. And on the scene, Mr. Saurabh Mehta, President TiE Ahmedabad, Mr. Bhavin, Mr. Piyali, Miss Piyali, and very good to see our Sandeep, one and only Sandeep, Mr. Anupam Jalote, and I can see one more gentleman, but since his name is not there on the screen, so it is 757. So I may see it like that. Good afternoon to all of you. I'm Mr. Rath, Dukhabandhu Rath, as has been introduced by Mr. Bhavin. I'm a career banker, yes, almost with 38 years of exposure in the industry, and I'm most part of which was spent in SBI. In fact, down memory lane, when I think of what was the earliest opportunity in which, during which I really handled one startup entrepreneur in my career, In fact, it was almost 30 to 33 years ago. You know, there is a place called Rourkela in Orissa. I belong to Orissa. And there was one gentleman, I still remember his name, incidentally Bengali, Mr. Prem Narayan Poddar. He is, he had never stood second in his life. He was first class first in BTech. First class first in class 10, class 12, BTech from BITS Pilani, MTech from BITS Pilani, and also did a special course, I think, from MIT USA. And very impassioned gentleman, unlike our Sandeep. Sandeep is very passionate. That's the difference I can see. Sandeep is very passionate. We are very happy to be connected with Sandeep. I'll come to Sandeep little later. So Mr. Prem Narayan Poddar, he was a metallurgist, mechanical engineer, and with specialization in metallurgy. And he was preparing, or he was manufacturing a very small instrument, and which he was in the habit of selling the instrument to the nuclear power plants. And one instrument would fetch him 10.5 lakhs. I think that was the earliest opportunity of interacting with an entrepreneur in the startup ecosystem. And because of his impatience, he was finding it difficult to explain his point of view. And maybe because of that, the people who were supposed to understand, appreciate, articulate, and also implement, they were also finding it difficult to appreciate his point of view. And it is my good luck, maybe his good luck also. I think at the nick of the time I joined as a credit analyst, I was given his account. I'm really very happy to have handled him as a person and handled his project. He is a big man today, in the field of metallurgy and also mechanical engineering, and specializing in supplying instruments to nuclear power plants all over the world. Now, this is, I think this is my earliest, there are many such examples, but I'll limit myself with this. And yes, coming back to GBFL, we have become, I joined GBFL only a couple of months ago. Before that, I was here in Ahmedabad as the Chief General Manager of SBI Operations for Gujarat and the 3 Union Territories. And coming back to GBFL, it is the oldest venture finance company in the government sector. It's started in 1990. And let me congratulate the founding fathers. I think when the whole country did not know for venture finance, it is the leadership, the political and the administrative leadership, they thought of venture finance and started this initiative in collaboration with the World Bank as a 100% government-owned entity. In the year 1990. It has done yeoman service to the entrepreneurs. Later on, in course of time, the ownership has come down to 65.22, 65.32%. Some other stakeholders have come, but government, remains, government of Gujarat continues to be the, the owner of this by virtue of having the major shareholder. And during this 32 years journey, the GBFL has launched 8 funds, very successfully managed 8 funds. From a drawing board, now it has acquired the status of really handling a good number of technical projects. And during the last 32 years, it has virtually made investment in almost all the sectors, whether you may call it IT, auto engineering, biotech, chemicals, consumer industries, minerals, telecom, textiles, food processing, MSME, so on and so forth. Almost 95 investments have been made, out of which 75 investments we have already exited. The remaining 20 are in different stages. They're in growth stage. A few we would be exiting soon. That is in brief, I think the trajectory or the bandwidth of GBFL, which I thought I should share with you. Now, coming back to the funding options available today as far as GBFL or for that part of the startup ecosystem is concerned, I can personally say that there are basically 5 ways or 5 avenues for availing funding options. One being, apart from the personal finance, when an entrepreneur starts its project, he or she spends money from his or own pocket, from the family, from the well-wishers, friends, relatives, everything. And there is a provision of grant. I'm also a member of the state level empowerment committee, which sanctions grants and also assistance to the startups at the initial stage. But going little further, there are angel investors who are available in the ecosystem. There is a provision of crowdfunding. Then comes the business incubators and the accelerators, the venture capitalists like GVFL, and also the bank loans. I'll very, very briefly touch upon because all of you know what exactly is an angel investor. Angel investors are basically the individuals who invest in startups at an early stage where the risk perception is very high, and the early stage they invest in the early stage companies in exchange for an equity ownership interest, because in the an appropriate valuation with reasonable terms at an early stage when the risk is high, so they can typically require the lower valuations to their advantage to compensate the risk they take by investing in the early stage startups. So this is the angel funding. Now, second could be crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is the practice of raising funds through multiple funders, often via popular crowdfunding websites. There are many crowdfunding websites. Crowdfunding gives startup entrepreneurs the opportunity to raise startup funding for their business and can help a company promote its product. And there are many crowdfunding sites which can support the early stage startups to a great extent. And the third is the raising funds through the business incubators and also the accelerators. And here in GVFL, we have tried to do some good work here. Let me share with you. There are 32 incubators in Ahmedabad, around 100 in Gujarat. So we have on a mission mode, we have now started, entering in, making visits to all the incubators, and we have started entering into MOUs. I'll come to that, how we are putting the MOUs to good use in the latter part of my interaction. So we are visiting the MOUs, interacting with the key personnel, and subsequently we are entering into the MOU. MOU only creates memorandum of understanding between GVFL and the incubator. It creates a moral obligation on part of both the incubator that a successful incubative will be sponsored to GVFL, and the GVFL's, it will be the responsibility of GVFL to support all such excellent incubatives in the early stage, to come out of it and to prove their mettle in the startup ecosystem. This is, I think, the incubators are doing a great job, so as the accelerators, and we are also joining hands with them. And I'll make a mention that in the meantime, we have already signed the 3 MOUs. We started with PDU, Pandit Deen Dayal Energy University, and they're also coming up with a big show. We also did it with the GTU, and they're also ready to sponsor early stage startups. And the last one we did with GeoSec Gujarat University, where the Vice Chancellor of Mr. Pandya, Himanshu Pandya ji, was also present. Fourth also we have lined up, and we have created a roadmap for ourselves that will take all the incubators. If you have to improve the startup ecosystem, then all of us together will have to work so that the biggest factor for which the startups are left in the lurch is finance. 85% of the startups, they go out or they fizzle out, it is only because of finance. Rough statistics I am sharing with you. Now coming to venture capital, the fourth source of finance is venture capital. Like GVFL, they provide strategic assistance, they provide strategic to the potential investors. And once the prototype is done, once the idea is found to be scalable and also becomes commercially viable, then venture capital is ready. I think Sandeep will vouchsafe each time he sends me a message that, sir, I have won this. I think my message would be at least double his message, because that congratulating him to scale new heights in his professional journey. I'm very happy that Sandeep is associated with the GVFL, and we are committed to provide him so that he becomes an unicorn at the earliest possible, which I have already shared with him, and which I do not have the slightest doubt that he would become in the near future. So after venture capital, now some of the banks also are now source for venture capital. How is it possible? The banks also provide a term loan, in a small way, though since I'm a banker, I know that. For venture funding, there is no specific vertical in any of the banks, though they have allocated some funds for venture funding. Through that venture funding also, In fact, there is provision, the entrepreneurs can avail term loan that is for financing of fixed assets, working capital loan that is for meeting the recurring expenses of the company. And the third is asset-backed loan. Now a scheme has come where the promoter also can mortgage his assets and can also avail a loan. These are also available. There are many startups who have, apart from availing investments from the venture capital funds, they have also approached banks to, for sanction of assistance. There are quite a few startups with us also who have arrangement with banks. Now, as far as the startups are concerned, in fact, I'll share with you that all these funding avenues and funding options are available, and a startup in the early stage and also in the subsequent stage can make any of the avenue that would, I think, meet the requirement of the the entrepreneur to the best of his advantage. Now, what we have done in GVFL, let me tell you, we are trying to provide a menu which will take care of the startups to the best of our ability. See, now let me tell you, the startup starts his venture with his own funds, with his or her own funds, gets government grants, but what after that? So to answer that requirement, we are coming up with, already we are in the final stage, the GVFL seed fund. We had conceptualized a GVFL seed fund with a corpus of 100 crores, but now looking at the enthusiasm with many of our incubator friends, now we feel that we'll scale it up to 150 crores. And one good thing is that Government of Gujarat will be the anchor investor with a contribution of 75 crores. We'll also be putting in 5 crores from our profit, 80 crores. And we are having multiple virtual meetings, physical meetings with many of the investors, so that 150 crores will keep it under GVFL seed fund. So any startup who is in need of financial assistance ranging between 50 lakhs to say 3 to 5 crores, you will have absolutely no difficulty. We are having arrangements with all the incubators. Sooner or later, all the incubators in Ahmedabad will be covered. If there is a good startup from TIE, who needs seed fund finance from GVFL, we'll be too happy to consider that proposal under the GVFL seed fund. Now, the next, we are planning a GVFL startup fund. In the startup fund category, we'll be taking care of those startups who have already passed the seed stage. Their requirement is a little more. Their revenue, accrual of revenue also is more. The fund requirement is more, maybe between 5 crores to 20 crores. And we are thinking of a fund of around 200 crores. The registration process has already started. And under the GVFL startup fund, we'll be providing, I think, assistance between 5 crores to 20 crores to the startup entrepreneurs who have already graduated from the seed stage to the startup stage. And the third stage is the growth fund stage. And let me share with all of you with a lot of happiness that we have already registered the GVFL Emerging Enterprise Fund, which is basically a growth fund with a size of 500 crores. Here again, Government of Gujarat is the anchor investor. Already I have received the approval for allocation of 100 crores in this year's budget. We are in the fund mobilization drive, meeting a lot of people, doing a lot of physical meetings and virtual meetings. Unfortunately for COVID, we could not intensify, but we are trying to close the deal of 500 crores as quickly as possible, so that at least those startups who have already received the first round of funding or second round of funding, they want to look bigger, they want to look greater, they would like to do for a better branding, better image building, better marketing approach, more productive activities. The growth fund, GVFL growth fund, with a fund size of 500 crores with additional option of mobilizing another 200 crores. That means we can go up to 700 crores. This fund will take care of the startups who are in the growth stage. That means they have graduated from seed fund to startup fund to growth fund. So the whole idea is that GVFL, as far as availability of investment is concerned, we have thought of providing the entire life cycle. In collaboration with the incubators, we will provide the entire life cycle experience to our promoters, to our entrepreneurs. Nobody should close his business if it is a good idea, scalable, commercially viable. for want of money, because I had already said that 85% fizzle out only because of money. So this is broadly what we have done as far as the funding pattern is concerned. And startups are doing great jobs. Let me tell you, startups, though 2020, because of pandemic, there has been a little step back as far as the number of startups are concerned. Only 1,050 new startups were registered and established in 2020 compared to almost 8,000 in 2015. But I'm quite sure that I think as times pass by and the things become little normal, I think it would be much better. Coming back to the seed stage funding in 2020, 1,050 seed funds were new startups were launched, and the average, the median ticket size for startup investments has been around $1 million. 361 seed stage startup funds were funded during the year 2020, and Bangalore continues to be the hub of all startup activities. And now I think all of us, we have a responsibility to promote more and more tech-based services, services related startups in Ahmedabad. If you have to, have a good spot in the startup ranking, in the number of startup in the ranking in the country. But let me tell you, Gujarat continues to be the number one state in startup ranking. And this is all about the position relating to the new startups and the top 10 sectors. If I may share the trend with you, it is mostly tech, whether it is EdTech, whether it is insurance tech, whether it is bank tech, whether it is fintech, consumer services tech. Just today I came, one of our startup companies, he will be closing a deal for around 70 crore rupees in Mumbai. That is great news. He has been able to mobilize around 60 to 70 crores. So we'll be closing the term sheet very, very shortly. So I would like to, on behalf of GVFL, I would like to, convey this sense of, the sense of conviction and also determination to all the startups who are associated or who are connected to this virtual meeting today, and also to all the officials of TIE who are connected with a lot of incubators with them, that GVFL would be second to none in providing, the right financial assistance or the right investment at the right time. Yes, there was a problem, lot of things required to be consolidated. I think, pandemic in 2020 played a spoil sport, and even during the current year also, 2021, March and April, we had a tough time. But yes, when things become tough, it is the tough who gets going. That is what we have thought of in GVFL, and we will make all possible efforts to contribute to the startup ecosystem in the most humble manner. And we are with you. That is for sure that we are with you. And that is why I think we want that somebody who have seed fund from GVFL, he should graduate to this startup fund here itself, so that he doesn't have to go to elsewhere. While he is free to go elsewhere, but I have on my plate the menu available from seed fund to startup fund, and from startup fund to growth fund. So I think that is the cycle we need to maintain. The incubators, the government at the initial stage, and then comes the venture capital in different forms. And thank you very much once again, for inviting me to this. And I would like to convey the confidence of, contribute to the confidence of the startup entrepreneurs, that GVFL's philosophy and GVFL's investment philosophy is aligned to the concept of the startup ecosystem. Those who are good, those who want to be still good, still better, we are with them. And a shining example is right there connected, Sandeep. In fact, when I joined GVFL 5 months ago, and I interacted with Sandeep, and he has come out with an excellent technology, optimized electronics. And I'm quite sure that going forward, Sandeep will be a household name not only in the defense sector, in India, abroad, and also in the household name, all across. All my best wishes to TIE for inviting me, Piali, and also Mr. Bhavin. Thank you very much. And I mean, if there is anything specific, you can ask me. You're not audible.
Yeah.
We need to unmute.
Okay. Thank you very much for your speech. It's very, very welcoming speech and for the startups. And we got to know a lot of new avenues which GVFL is working upon. We would have some questions for you, so please don't go.
Sure. I'm not going. I'm here,
sure.
right here.
So now we will invite Mr. Anupam Jalote, our second esteemed guest for today. He is the CEO of iCreate, which is India's leading tech incubator. Mr. Jalote has successfully straddled both worlds, corporate and startups. Mr. Jalote has worked in telecom industry and at various leadership positions, nationally as well as internationally. And for a decade now, he has two startups which have provided him with a granular understanding of startups in India and challenges they face. He will share his tips on key actions that can help founders in current times. Anupam sir, over to you.
Thank you so much, Bhavin Yali, for inviting me. It's always a pleasure to be able to help the startup ecosystem. Dukbanduji, thank you so much for such a brilliant starting note for this conference. And before I jump into what I have to say, it's delightful to learn about the cascading set of funds that you've set up. GVFL and iCreate are old friends. Of course, you predate us by decades, but our teams have a very warm and affectionate relationship, and we work closely together. It's a delight to see cascading funds, because as I'll speak, it's very, very important to have an organization that can take you from 50 lakhs to perhaps 50 crores step by step as you progress. It's an amazingly good thing. But briefly, a little bit about iCreate, and then what really excites me personally about the startup scene today in 2021, and what might be good things to get your hands into. So iCreate is a funny animal. It's most people think of it as an incubator. So there used to be an ad a long time ago that says, "Ispat bhi hum banate hain." So it was, I think it was not Tata Steel. Everybody thinks it was Tata Steel, but I think it was another organization. And it said, "Ispat bhi hum banate hain." So we do a lot of things. We also make steel. So one of the things we do is that we are an incubator. I'd like to think of our incubator as our R&D lab. It informs us of how to do the technical innovation idea to successful company journey. So that's the only thing we do. We help convert tech innovation to successful companies. My single line KRA is convert it into successful companies, and I'm only measured on this singular metric. It's a very, very hard output parameter to be measured on. The other part to us is when we were founded, Modi ji and Narayan Murthy ji said, "Be the IIT IIM for startups." It's a small sentence, but it's such a heavy one. It's a terrible weight to carry on your shoulders, because these are our finest institutions, IIT and IIM. They're something that the whole world is proud of. And for iCreate to ever grow into those shoes is a huge journey, huge leap. But we figure that with our in-house R&D lab, because we are not peered to any academic institution. We are not an academic institution. We're not a financial institution. We're not a research institution. We're not a government department. We're not a private organization. So what are we? We are the curators of success stories in tech innovation. So the third part of what we do, apart from being an incubator and an institution, is strategic innovation. Strategic innovation, quite simply, is taking the startup life cycle and scaling it up 1000x. So if a startup dreams in its first year, second year, third year of doing a crore and a half, we say that you start with 1000 crore. So you take a problem statement which has huge potential to become successful. And then you create the innovation and the technology and the science needed to be able to serve that interest. And the end result is manufacturing or distribution at a global scale. Now, India is a land of software. We're very, very good at software. We're good at systems. We're good at IT. And we thought that if so much money is being poured into an institution like us, perhaps we should attempt to do something slightly different. And although the I Create is international and our scope is national, international, all of it, but we reside in Ahmedabad, which is the center of one of the most vibrant manufacturing ecosystems in the country. So, chirag tale andhera nahi hona chahiye. So if we are surrounded by manufacturing, might as well focus on being product driven. And since the present and the future clearly belongs to IT enablement, we said at the base of our focus is embedded systems, IoT, Internet of Things. That leads to a lot of data being thrown up. So data analytics, machine learning, and then finally autonomous decision making, that is AI. And if you're creating this pyramid of technologies, we could apply it in various fields. It could be applied in agri-tech, in health tech, in water tech, in electric vehicles, in energy storage, in fintech, all of those. And therefore, we've got 5 very clearly defined focus areas, which have been vetted and blessed by Professor Vijay Raghavan himself, the principal scientific advisor to the PM. So first of our focus areas is electric vehicles, but we don't have any interest in the complete vehicle. We say, what are the technologies that must come in over the next few years to enable Indian companies to take a global leadership position in electric vehicles? So is it a magnetless motor? Is it a motor that does not need magnets, which are imported from China? Is it a battery that does not need lithium and cobalt? Is it a controller with our own chipsets, our own design chipsets and firmware and embedded software that increases the efficiency? Is it the price reduction of energy recovery systems that only very expensive cars have plugged into 2-wheelers, 3-wheelers? Is it the combination of all of those that increases efficiency? So the point I'm making, and the point I'm making to all the startups, and which is what I really want to get to, is that if there is a big enough problem that you can identify and go out and solve it, then you've got a startup that Dukhbandhu ji will be chasing. He will be running after you with his checkbook, saying, boss, tum ruko to, main abhi check deta hu tumko. Committee बैठती रहेगी, सब कुछ होता रहेगा, तुम अभी एक एडवांस चेक पकड़ो. Are you solving some problem? Many times, many times, we in our minds, since innovators are creators, God made woman a creator, they create life. And God also made innovators as creators. You create something new. Innovation is an act of disagreement. It is an act of rebellion. You disagree with what is happening around you and you say, I have a better way, I have a different way of doing this. And then you go out and create something, but you don't know how to make money off it. And when you learn how to make money off your innovation, you stop being a startup, you become an entrepreneur. Till you know how to make money from your innovation, you are a startup. And as was mentioned by Dukhbandhu ji, you need a lot of money to be able to survive and bring your ideas to fruition. One of the things Bhavin threatened me with was a question, which in 5 words I have to suggest to you. And I'm sorry, Bhavin, I'm stealing your thunder by attempting to answer that question.
Any time is good time for this question.
But it was a beautiful question. So why don't you go shoot that question? It was a beautiful question.
Okay. So for this chat, we decided that we will ask this question to all 3 panels, all 3 members in the panel. And that would be their number 1 advice, which they would give to startup founders who are looking to raise capital in 2021. The only, so this is a very common question, but the only twist here is that you have to answer that in maximum 5 words. So that is the challenge which all the panels have, all the members in the panel has. So please, Anupam sir, please go ahead.
Thank you so much. And I'll say in 5 words, show us the customer value.
Great.
If you can show us the value that a customer is receiving from your idea, your solution, your product, everything else will fall into place. I started my first startup in the global startup hub of Lucknow in 1989, slightly before GVFL was founded. Perhaps it was at the drawing board stage. And it was a tech startup. We made digital control systems for industrial and domestic use. Lucknow still doesn't have too many startups. And it's a damn difficult field to get into even today. Sir, you're on mute.
Yes, please.
आप कुछ कह रहे थे?
नहीं, I'm listening to you with rapt attention.
Okay, all right. So तब से हमारी एज एन इनोवेटर जर्नी चली आ रही है. इनोवेटर को क्रिएशन से प्यार होता है. There is nothing that we love more than tinkering with our thoughts and creating a better and better and better solution. What we think of as a distraction and what we hate is going out and attempting to sell our solution to customers. And therefore, we spend 80% of our time and 80% of our money and almost all of our mental energies and emotional capital in creating a beautiful solution without asking the customer whether they really want it all or not. So iCreate focuses very, very hard on reversing it all and saying, before you start creating your prototype or proof of concept, do a virtual prototype. Do not go after your MVP. Do not create a minimally viable product. Create a virtual prototype and go to your customer. Shamelessly go to your customer and say, I am a startup. I'm planning to do this. This is going to be your experience, your customer experience. Would you pay us this much money for this experience or not? I have yet to meet a person who refuses to answer. You're not asking for money. You're saying, I want to be a startup. I want to do something new. Do you find my idea interesting? Would you pay me so much money for it? And listen very carefully to the feedback that comes. And you'll be shocked to find that perhaps all of those fancy features that you were thinking of are not needed. A very basic functionality might be something useful. So we come to the concept of product market fit. Your product and the requirement of the market. When they align, then you've got a business. Everything else will fall into place. So your costs, what it costs you to make, plus the margins that you hope to earn, is that equal to what the customer is willing to pay for? And if this is something that you've mastered from day one, then the following will happen. Number one, you will save your time. And number two, you will save your money. And that is my sincerest advice to all of you. पैसा तो फिर भी आ जाएगा, पर समय तो भगवान ने सबको नाप के ही दिया है. And a second that's once gone doesn't come back. Right? Somebody said there are 2.2, 2.5 billion seconds that we get in our lifetimes. And once it's gone, it's gone. Nobody ever gets that time back. You invest 2 years, 3 years of your life in pursuing an idea. That's like 5%, 2% of your life. God knows how much you have, but it's a very significant amount of time in the most productive years of your life. Use it very, very judiciously. And second is guard your capital. Hate spending money. Do not think of it as grant money given to you to experiment with. Do not think of it as venture capital money given to you to blow up the way you see in newspapers and TVs. I'm a unicorn, I've got $100 million and I'm going to buy this company and I'm going to do that. वो छोड़ दीजिए, वो बहुत दूर की और बहुत बात की बातें हैं, बहुत दूर की और बहुत बात की बातें हैं. And I'm sure Saurabh will kind of second some of it as he speaks, because he's been there and done that right now, and you'll hear it from his mouth. But guard your capital jealously. Spend very, very sensibly. Spend very, very sensibly. And do not go out and raise money when you are broke. Nobody will give you money if you've run out of money. You can only raise money when you do not need it. Or else you can convince the other person that you really don't need it.
All right. So Jalode sir, thank you very much for this great, I think most of us are nodding whether they are on the video or not, and making notes of it. And I've written down your 5 words, great 5 words. Thank you for that. Now I would like to invite our third esteemed guest for today, Mr. Sandeep Shah. He's the founder and managing director of Optimize Electrotech. He is a technopreneur with 10 plus years of experience in launching technology businesses and successfully turning them into positive cash flow enterprises. Sandeep is an IIM Calcutta alum and has also worked with IBM and National Instruments before he started his entrepreneurial journey. The reason Sandeep is here today, he has recently raised an investment round of $1.8 million, especially during these pandemic times. He's based in Ahmedabad, and we have Mr. Sandeep to share his learning and tips from his investment round in current times. Over to you, Sandeep.
Thank you very much, Bhavin. And first of all, thank you very much, Piyali and Bhavin and Saurabh Bhai for having me here. It's really a privilege to be a part of this August gathering. And I would definitely want to do justice to the time that people have taken out of their busy schedule to hear us and to figure out how probably some of the tips on fundraise might work out for them. So that would be, my commitment to this particular event. Thank you, Raj sir, for your kind words and as always encouraging us to do our best. It's obviously a lot of pressure at the same time as it is, the blessings that come in. But thank you very much for that. Let me just take a couple of minutes to introduce Optimize Electrotech. We are a surveillance company. We build platforms that can help you do surveillance from any location. So these are platforms that include hardware and software put together with edge intelligence, such that you do not have to rely on only necessarily cloud or dumb cameras to know what's going on. Our eventual vision is that globally, you will simply have to ask us that, hey, I want to know, what happened at this particular location, the coordinates probably, or say simply my home or my office or my warehouse yesterday from 10 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. And we won't give you a video feed. We'll simply tell you that this is the person who came in using the face recognition, and we'll tell you that this is the person who took this thing out. So that is the level of insights that we wish to reach at. At this moment, we are focusing first on defense and homeland security, as it is obviously an existing market and a huge one. And that's something which we are very proud to be associated with India. We are winners of the Make in India for Defense competition twice, one for Air Force, one for the Indian Army. We are also winners of the TIE Global competition, which is called TICON TIE 50. We are the only defense/surveillance related startup to have done that. Apart from the, we are about 13 companies from India who became members of this privileged club of TIE 50. And the remaining people are all from the US and Europe and Australia. Also, all these companies also come from EdTech, Health Tech, and FinTech, the real buzzwords, not surveillance/defense or something which is as, not the buzzword at this moment. So quite happy to be part of that. We also have been the front runners when it comes to CRPF and CISF challenges. And we are at this moment amongst the top 10 startups in India with respect to focus on defense. We've been acknowledged that by the Ministry of Defense as well as various other organizations across India. So that's a background on us. We're based in Ahmedabad and we have our R&D center in Bangalore. And we are a GVFL funded startup, obviously. We also raised a second round recently, which was initiated and led by VCATS. And we were lucky enough to have received multi-times subscription to the capital that we had requested. So that's one good thing that happened with us. And at this moment, we are looking for experts in AI and image processing. If in case somebody over here is willing to join the team at any roles, more than welcome to do that. And we're also looking for all types of support in marketing, whether it be website development or anything in digital marketing. So I'm generally shameless in asking for things, so bear with me. But yeah, that's basically where we are at. And at Optimize Electrotech, we have a very good team of co-founders. My entire team is filled with people who I'm really proud of to be working together with. We have about 100 plus man years of experience, 32 patents, 4 patents filed as a company. And we also have, behind us teams that have worked with BEL, ISRO, Indian Air Force, DRDO, you name it, all the marquee companies out there. So that's how basically we were able to do this. We built the technology first with our own money. Then we wanted to do prototyping, where we received some money from a bank, and that was where we did the prototyping. After taking all of that risk on our own, we were lucky enough to get GVFL backing us. And that's where the real growth journey started. So that's been the journey so far. I'll be very happy to answer any specific questions that are there, or if there's something which I'm missing out, you can just point it to me. Thank you very much.
Okay. So thank you, Sandeep. Especially if you can share, like, what are your key learnings from your fundraising in current times? Like, how was it different than your previous rounds?
First is, that it started a little disappointing, and it's a long story of, and you personally, Bhavin, better than probably anybody else. And thanks for helping me out, at the right times, at all times. But yes, it was a tough journey. The last 1 year from June to, not 1 year, but almost about 8 months or so from June 2020 was a tough time. What worked in our favor is, number one, that, I'm a fairly lucky person. That's basically what worked out. So I made a list of 160 people who could invest in our company, and started talking to each and every one of them, shamelessly pitching to as many people as possible, figuring out whether it's within their likes or not. The fact that we make hardware, the fact that we are focused on defense, and the fact that we are, as co-founders, we are all 40 in our 40s, is not helping. Okay. So it kind of, reduced the funnel significantly in the initial phase itself. But with the remaining funnel also, I don't think I missed out anybody. I would have interacted with every possible VC fund or angel network, which would be within that zone of money that we were looking for. So you reach out to everyone, and you get to know. I kept refining my pitch. I kept understanding what exactly is missing in us. Kept going back to my co-founders, trying to see, what all things we could really modulate a little bit if that was required. Whatever could be modified, we modified. We again came back, and I think I participated in numerous events, tons of events actually, from June 2020 to December 2020, which was the period when we were raising. And it was filled with a lot of disappointment from the funding round perspective. People were willing to put in money, but they were not willing to lead the show. There were people who were willing to put in the money, but they wanted much lower valuation from our side, and all of that didn't work out. So I think the key learning for, if you ask me, is that you cannot really time it. You have to actually keep attempting at it. So that, I think, is the key learning during this time.
Okay, great. And since you have raised a couple of rounds now, and you have personally invested in number of startups as well, what type of investors generally you would like? How do you identify what investors to go to? Like, after you talk to, let's say, multiple investors, and normally what kind of signs do you get? What kind of you get after meeting those guys? Like, who you should go to, who you should take money from? Now, obviously, this I know a little bit about your story, and I know some investors have helped you in that tough time as well. But I want you to bring that out if you can shed some light.
Sure. I think so. I have had experience of investing in around 5 to 7 startups in the past. 7 startups, 5 actively, and I have been the recipient of VC funding as well as angel funding myself. I believe the investment should only be taken when the timing, when really you need it. There are the government grants available. There are unsecured loans available. There are various ways to do a revenue discounting also, or order discounting also. There are so many means to save your equity. I would say, as long as possible, don't even raise. Okay. But nonetheless, assume that you have to raise, you would at least go to a person who can become your brand ambassador. Because all the investors, when they step in, they are traveling with you, at least for that journey, about 4 years to 7 years period of time. They are with you, right? In that period of time, they must be somebody who should be able to help you in the time of crisis. There should be people who are able to, open certain doors, some doors here and there. So it's not just about the money. What else apart from money are you getting is the first thing that you have to look at. Getting money per se is, really speaking, not that difficult. If you are willing to compromise on every damn thing, getting money is really not that difficult, because out of everything in your startup that you're selling, your equity is the most precious resource. Selling that is the easiest task that you have. The problem is, do you get the right value for that most precious resource? Because it's so precious that not everybody can afford it. So only go to the person who can really create a little bit of a difference in you after that investment has been done. So I have had opportunities from several people where they have been willing to give even more than what I had asked for. But in most of the cases, it has always been that it was an investment from purely a returns perspective. It was an investment purely from a connection based investment, an investment that I never take. But I think if you're able to find an investor who can actually help you open doors, or can stay with you in crisis, or can actually lead you during this journey as a brand ambassador, take that one first.
Right. Okay, great. And last question to you before we go to others. Your number one advice to startup founders looking to raise in 2021, and your advice limited to 5 words.
If it's limited to 5 words, then I would simply say that you must always be pitching. There is no such day when you say that, hey, I will run out of money in October, let me start pitching on 30th of October. That would be stupid. You're always pitching. Okay, you always keep reassessing. You keep getting feedback. You refine your pitch. That would be the way to really raise funds. And as Mr. Anupam Jalote also mentioned, nobody invests in a broke. So there's no point in being at a stage where you're already broke, and then starting to ask for it. You're always pitching. That's, I think, a simple mantra, I would say.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sandeep. And now we have last 5 to 10 minutes. I will try to make it fast. Mr. Dukhbandhu, can I quickly ask you a couple of questions? Sure. So what are the areas or themes your analyst team is very upbeat or excited about in 2021? Like, which themes are you looking to invest?
See, basically in 2020-21, now all tech-based startups, they're really, ruling everywhere. You have seen the example of Sandeep Optimized Electronic. There are, in fact, quite very recently, just a day before yesterday, we have approved another tech-based startup also, and I'm quite sure that it would create waves in the hospitality industry. So as far as the GVFL concerned, our basic focus, and we are excited about a technology-based startup, whether it is insurance tech, bank tech, and just to share with you, we are also, we'll be making we'll be supporting one startup, who is specializing in banking. All bank-related investment. We are also coming up there. We are also exploring the possibility of insurance and insurance tech, edutech, and also agri-tech. Agri-tech, we are also considering a proposal. So I think, to sum it up all, I think during the year 2021, all tech-based startups will be our priority.
Okay, great. And if I can put you on spot, how many startups are you looking to fund in 2021?
2021, you know that we made a very good beginning. It's not a question of putting me on spot. In fact, the whole of 2021, because for a startup, for a managing director, the Apart from many other activities, the two main activities are mobilization of funds and finding out many Sandeeps. I think that is my challenge. I think I'll have to have money in my left hand so that I can give money in the right hand to the right investor. And just to be, to share very candidly, I can share with you that we made a very good beginning in terms of fund mobilization. But unfortunately, let me tell you, this pandemic, April, May, and to some extent June also has got into the valuable time for all of us. Because, at the end of the day, nothing is more urgent than your own existence.
Yeah.
Quite a few have been lined up. Quite a few have been approved. It may not be, I think the number may not be very impressive, but we'll make good the deficit on account of pandemic in the remaining months of 2021.
Okay.
That is for sure.
That's great.
That is for sure. And once the GVFL seed fund is made operational, you can I can give you good numbers, definitely double-digit numbers, not single-digit.
Okay.
No doubt about that.
Great to hear. And last question from my side regarding your number one advice to startup founders who are looking to raise in 2021.
This is
limited in 5 words.
Yeah. Raise money from the right partner. What else can I say? Raise money from the right partner at the right time for the right purpose.
Right. Okay, great. Anupam sir, in your incubator-led activities, how did you what is motivating your team in 2021? Like, what kind of changes you have seen in your team, which have helped the incubators to take care of the difficult times and still grow in this time?
Yeah, it's a brilliant question, actually. So the team also goes through the pain of startups, and as startups lose revenue, their customers don't pay them, they have outstandings, they have receivables, and then they have to start letting their employees go to conserve cash. We all feel the pain, and we try to help in any which ways. And then we also try to work with them to think of more and more innovative ways, either to pivot or to supplement. And a lot of our startups have been able to pivot, and one of them, Hubilo, was able to raise 23 million USD because he simply pivoted to a completely different business model altogether. And what is also exciting our team is that we've discovered that we can work very well with innovators from across the country. We've taken some Israeli innovators and mapped them onto large Indian corporates. We've taken some problem statements from large Indian corporates and mapped them onto our own innovators. And so what's exciting our team is 3-4 specific spaces. We are gift cities, fintech, incubator. That's I create. So therefore, fintech in all its glory, regulatory tech, supervisory tech, insurance tech, fintech, Boolean exchanges, currency exchanges, fair game, all of them. We want all of them. Yeah, and special focus on blockchain-driven ones, not cryptocurrency, but blockchain as the enabler. Yesterday, the Honorable Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, was reviewing iCreate's performance, and he said, we like your focus on EVs and energy storage, and focus very hard on energy storage and also hydrogen economy. And so we're looking for VLSI designers. We're looking for electromagnetic motor experts. We're looking for motor controller experts. We're looking for battery management systems, especially hybrid energy storage systems. We're looking for graphene experts. We're looking for alternate chemistries. So all of those are fair game, and our team is really focused and driven on just these 3 spaces at this point in time. And we're very, very confident that the enormous amount of focus and energy that India is devoting to the EV space, to the RE space, the energy storage space, and the fintech space, there is huge potential for startups. So don't get caught up only in the enabled services, IT enabled services, and on e-commerce and platforms. There's a whole very rich world out there for product-based, innovation-based startups.
Okay, great. Okay, so look, we do have quite a few questions people ask during their application on Google form. We wouldn't be able to take care of all those questions. Some of those questions were related to how to value a company, how to give out, what percentage of equity to give out in the first level of funding, or let's say seed funding, how to value a company. And there are many questions which are good questions, and we would aim to cover that at some point of time in some other forum. We are bang on time. PLA, do you think we should have one or two questions from the audience now, or shall we
I think we can
take
take
it
one
offline?
or two if that's all right. Probably 5 minutes we can give, if okay with everyone, with our team speakers.
fine.
Are you all okay?
I'm fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
2 minutes.
Okay, so two questions. So one question is about how to calculate value of your startup and how many percentage is to be evaluated in the first round. Any of you are invited to answer that.
I'm sure Dukhbandhuji would have a very
You
scientific.
can respond. You can respond. You can respond.
So I would just offer rules of thumb because at early stage, rules of thumbs are so much more important than discounted cash flows. I loved what Sandeep said. Please guard your equity. So try to raise as much alternate sources of money as possible. Debt is very cheap. So if you've got revenue coming in, go for debt. But if you have to value your company, there are multiple rules of thumb that industry uses for early stage. I'm assuming you're early stage. I'm assuming that you have very little revenue on your books. If you have no revenue on your books, then you will get probably, if you've done a lot of work, if you have something to showcase and demonstrate, you'll get a value of between 3 to 5 crores. If investors like you, if you can instill them with confidence, you have zero revenue on the books, you just have a lot of potential, 3 to 5 crores is what your value is going to be. Then how much money you raise, it's a simple matter of arithmetic. If you have revenue on your books, then it gets mathematical, then it gets scientific. You can demonstrate, you can also see what others in the industry have done because everything has parallels, and that helps to start driving your value. Sandeep, you'd like to add something?
I think, I mean, my methods of valuing startup have been different when I was investor versus when I am raising funds now. So, of course, you look at your self-interest at all times. But yes, I think one part where you clearly mentioned, I would agree with it, that as long as possible, first of all, try to evaluate other sources. I would say if it's only about 3 to 5 crores of valuation, and if you're raising 1 crore from somebody and giving away an arm and a leg, probably try to look at other revenues. There are CGTMSE loans available for up to 3 crores, at zero equity. Try that. There are government grants available for most of the technologies that are going on. Visit DPIIT websites or visit DIPP or NITI Aayog website. Try to look into that. Register for MITI, MEITY, and you will see a lot of opportunities coming in. Those grants, anywhere ranging between 10 lakhs to 50 lakhs, will be another breather for you. So I would say, unless and until you're valued really north of 10 crores, probably just restrict yourself to other sources of funding. And to value yourself north of 10 crores, you should have at least got something to showcase, as Mr. Jalote rightly said. There has to be something demonstrable, even if not revenue. There has to be somebody as a customer who would say, yes, if this guy really does this, if he solves this problem of mine, I'm willing to pay, as much amount of money. That would put you into a different league. Comparables are the best. They are the best rules of thumb. Find out if there is a comparable. Obviously, you won't have a 1:1 comparable, otherwise you will become a Me Too. So it can't be a 1:1 comparable, but nonetheless, you should have something which is comparable. Don't set yourself for Indian scenario comparables only, unless your solution only is appropriate for India, then that's a different story. But other than that, I think one of the mistakes we make here in Ahmedabad, I wouldn't say so much about Bangalore, but yes, we do make here in Ahmedabad, is that we always end up trying to catch up with the rest of the startups from India. I don't think that's a very healthy way to build a business. There is so much happening globally. There are so many things that are reasonably done somewhere else, but not really extraordinarily done. Can we attempt that? In which case your comparison then comes from, China or UK or US or Israel or whatnot. So there are different comparables that are possible. The only part where I would have a little difference of opinion about revenue part is that in India we normally don't trust the innovators as much, and mostly the investors are always cautious with their money. They are not as risk taking as, say, for the example, in the US. In the US or in several other developed places, they would fund you like $10 million just to build the technology. And then at $100 million, you are going to get acquired by some product manufacturer, absolutely, when your revenue is zero. So it's so much about building something useful rather than really being able to generate a cash flow. That is a mentality out there, which is not something that we are programmed in India. And therefore, in India, if you are not a revenue making company, it's very difficult for you to convince an Indian investor to be giving you the appropriate valuation. You might want to look elsewhere as well if you really are solving a good problem, and if there is some element of intellectual property being developed in the process, rather than just creating a Me Too business model, in which case obviously the only proof of pudding is a paying customer. But there are various other ways to value a startup. I mean, revenue is one way to look at it, but personally I'm not quite I don't use that as a gating item. That's pretty much from my side.
So I'll only sum up what Anupamji and Sandeep has said. They have said that you need to benchmark against the best. I mean, it's not against, the Indian prototypes. Rather, you need to look abroad. You benchmark yourself against the best available in the market. And number two, I also agree with Sandeepji that conventionally, the revenue model is resorted to, while arriving at a proper valuation. But I, as a career banker, I tend to agree with him that it is only one out of many parameters for valuing a company. In fact, during my days in commercial banking, we really used to focus on two things: the project and the man behind the project, the promoter. I think we used to, if these two things used to inspire confidence in us, then we are all gaga for it. I think the change is already is coming. Maybe it takes a bit of a time. We need to get away from that conventional thought process of revenue model while achieving at valuation of a startup. But I am quite sure that it is going to change, and the change is inevitable.
Great. So, thank you, all three of you. I think you all brought various inputs for this very, very common question regarding equity dilution and the valuation of my startup or my product. So I think we did ask about two questions, but I think this one question itself covers so much, wisdom and knowledge about, startup raising. So I think, Piali, we could actually conclude this on a high note of these great answers.
In fact, my suggestion would be to both Bhavinji and Piali, if there are some other questions which we are not in a position to attempt only due to paucity of time, and you can, I won't mind, or I think you can direct the questions in the form of a mail to us, and we'll be too happy to respond. Because, I think arranging another such a virtual meeting may not be that easy or may not be time consuming. So it can come in the form of a mail. So depending on the area, once you read the question, you can make out as who is the best suited to respond. That can be done.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's very kind of you.
Yes.
We'll do that. All right. Thank you, Mr. Dukhbandhu, Mr. Anupam Jalote, and Sandeep. You have shared, a lot of your knowledge, wisdom, experiences in this 1 hour time, and with all straightforwardness and motivation to help people understand.
Bhavin, we actually lost you.
We have lost contact.
No, Bhavin, still not there.
Still not audible. Bhavin.
But we understand the sense of what.
I think we can
Now
make
we
it
can-
out from your facial movement as what you are trying to or what you are attempting to talk.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So now I want to just thank you, everyone, and thank you for your time. We look forward to host you in other events in future whenever time permits. On behalf of Tai and personally myself, it's a great hearing you today. Thanks, everyone. Bye. for now.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you very much, Bhavin. Thanks,
Thank
Piyadi.
you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone, and have a good evening.
You too.
You all.
All of you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.